Welcome to another episode of You Know
Ball, baby.
Brought to you by the Run the Play
Network.
I'm your host, Anthony. To my right, I got the man with the most fire kicks every time he's on the set. Philly Phil, how you doing, brother? There you go. Dust them all.
Oh, man. I love you that you said that. I'm just playing. There's some really nice kicks, though, but
Yeah.
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. I'm, happy you're graduating this
Yeah.
stinking weekend.
Yeah.
How you feeling, my boy?
I'm feeling good, bro. Saturday's the big day. I graduate. I'm going to walk on the stage. Y'all are going to see me probably on my Instagram, probably on the Instagram. We got to do a pod next week in our cap and gowns.
I'm down for that.
That'd be fun.
Oh, shoot. Wait, cap and gowns?
Or you returned yours?
I got to go. No, I didn't return mine, but I got to go home because my mom has my cap and gown over stinking Palm Desert.
Or maybe just the caps. But nah, you don't got to drive all the way to Palm Desert for that episode.
I do it for the content.
You do it for the people?
I do it for the content and the people.
All right, Phil. Stand on business then.
I'll do it.
We'll see Phil in the cap and gown next week. Yeah, we got a banger episode today. We're gonna be talking about the conference finals specifically. Nothing else, no extra BS.
Mm-hmm.
One West or East aren't behind the other side. I feel like every week we do this. One's like in the first round, the other's in the second round. One's in the second round, one's in the conference finals. But we're here, consistency all the way through.
Yep.
Real quick, before we get into it, make sure you guys check out our Discord server. That's going to be in the description down below. We're going to be talking about basketball there. Starting June 1st, which is how many days away? 3 days away. A daily daily trivia, daily sports trivia. And if you get the most questions right, you will be winning an Amazon gift card.
You guys got to come and grab it.
You got to grab it, man.
Got to grab
Come
that Amazon gift card.
I mean, it's a free gift card, bro. You know, you might as well try to rack it up. Yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. We probably are going to end up doing this monthly. So if you want to be in the Discord, active in the Discord, we talk ball. We do a lot of fun stuff in the Discord, man. So let's get in there. Let's get active. Let's get popping. Yeah, man. Let's start talking about the conference finals. You know I'm feeling good. You know I want to talk about this. The Oklahoma City Thunder have made the NBA Finals. I was explaining. I got a little brother, right? Who's how old is Josiah? 12? I was telling him, like, last time the Thunder were in the finals, I was your age. Like, that shit really threw me off. You know, it's been so long since the Thunder have been in the finals.
13 years.
And when they were in the finals when I was 12, like, I didn't really care as much as I care now. You know, it's so sick being able to see this team go from, like, what could Chet be? What's Shai going to be? What's Jalen Williams going to be? Trading Josh Giddey, who was, like, someone I liked, but I knew, like, he had to go. Like, it's cool. It's a cool story. And for us to be in the finals, man, I have a lot of pride. I got a lot of, like, I like this team a lot, you know. And this team was built from the ground up. I watched every step. I've been seeing, like, Paku highlights on my Twitter. I saw Darius Baisley tweet, and that was a dude that I was like...
The Fresh Prince.
Bro, that was a dude that I thought was going to be cold. Isaiah Roby tweeted.
Oh, Isaiah Roby.
Yeah, you know.
I loved Isaiah Roby, bro.
Xavier Simpson, I watched him live one game. He's like 5'11" guard who used to do hook shots. Like, it's so cool being here, man, and, like, being able to finally do it and like be there. And like we won 68 games, and I feel like I talked a lot of shit this year validly, and they backed me up, you know, because I've gotten bit in the ass before with the team where I'm like, we're up 3-1 and now we're gonna blow it, you know. So I feel like, yeah, I'm very stoked to be in the finals. We could talk about the Timberwolves series, though.
You know what would have made it even better? If y'all got Lauri Markkanen and went nuts with him.
Bro.
If y'all got Lauri Markkanen, that would have been nuts.
See, and here we go. This is another thing where I'm like, I stood on business there, and I said we don't need to upgrade because everyone was saying we need to get Lauri, we need to get Cam Johnson, and we showed that our depth is the reason why we made it to the finals because our guys came to play Caruso, Wiggins, Cason Wallace, Jalen Williams, the big man, games, not this series, but these guys just come out there and they play hard and they contribute. Kenrich Williams, Isaiah Joe. He's been questionable, but having a guy like that even like just impacts the game so much. So it's like if we traded those guys away with some of our picks, we would have been cooked.
What was the biggest thing that helped you guys, besides depth, what was the biggest thing that helped you guys win against the Minnesota Timberwolves?
The defense, bro. The double teams on Anthony, like, and this is going to be I don't want to hate on Anthony Edwards, right? Because I feel like a lot of people are doing that, and I think it's kind of lazy. But I think we put Anthony Edwards in a category that he wasn't ready for, which is cool. Like, that happens all the time. And Anthony Edwards obviously is a great basketball player. Yeah. But he is nowhere near top shooting guard in the league conversations. I still would take Donovan Mitchell over him, and I'm going to stand on that. Anthony Edwards provides a lot. but we saw in this series that his bag work is not good enough, and we double teamed him a lot. So it's hard to split a double team, especially at an NBA level against the best defense we've probably ever seen. But he just is not in that category as far as pure skill goes. Watchability, energy, leadership, he was one of the best in the league. But as far as talent goes, he's got that, but it's just not at this level that we were propping him up to be. And the Timberwolves struggled because Anthony Edwards couldn't get them going the way that he was. He checked out. He checked out of game 4, and he checked out of game 5.
Yeah.
And it definitely hurt his team because, look, yesterday on stream, shout out to stream, my guaranteed lock yesterday before the game started, I said the Thunder are going to win by more than 8 points, and Anthony Edwards was going to go under his point total. Because I very, very well could have saw him playing similar to game 4 because we're not going to go off the double team if it worked like that. Yeah. And I didn't think the Timberwolves were going to shoot as well as they did game 4 around Anthony Edwards. And that's exactly what happened. Anthony Edwards couldn't get going. The other guys couldn't get going. And it just got ugly. Julius Randle disappointed me, I think, a lot in this series.
He really did.
Because he was facing single coverage for the most part. And I'm not saying Julius Randle should be able to get you a bucket every time, but he was turning the ball over a lot. He was struggling from the field, and you could just feel it. He's one of those guys where if he's on, you feel it. If he's off, you feel it. I know you know that as a Laker fan because when he was busting your ass, you fucking feel that shit. And when he's not, it's like, all right, we're going to win this game,
That's why I'm low-key kind of happy. Well, I mean, because, I was with the Minnesota Timberwolves when they beat the Golden State Warriors, and then when they actually, they played you guys next, which I was rooting for OKC, but everybody started bringing back up all the old stuff with the Lakers, saying should they have let go of Julius Randle? I was like, it's been how many years?
Yeah, it's dumb.
What are we talking about? Should we have? It's been 5 years and he hasn't done anything since this year.
It's NBA media, bro. NBA media is the worst media in sports, and I know you seen my tweets yesterday or 2 days ago. It's just so bad with Marcus Morris saying. What did Marcus Morris say?
Was it Marcus Morris or was it?
No, it was Markieff Morris said Trae Young just started playmaking. Come on, bro. And then Perk said,
it was something about Anthony Edwards,
to be a great player, you need to be a family man.
That was so bad, bro.
Bro, it's dumb.
That was unbelievably
The NBA
bad.
media is cooked, and I'm glad that NBC's getting the ball. But ESPN's still going to be a big part of NBA media because TNT is the one they're losing. And at least TNT, we all know they're trolls. ESPN thinks they're up there doing shit, and they're really not. And that's what bugs me the most. But yeah, I mean, I saw the conference final started and they were doing GOAT debates on ESPN. What the fuck are we doing?
Okay, so that's one thing I did kind of want to bring up that I think is really weird. So everybody was talking about how it's most likely going to be Pacers versus OKC in the finals. And nobody really wants this. And they're saying that the viewership is going to take a dive, obviously, because of that. Because nobody knows these teams. And granted, people know OKC if you're casual, but I mean, if you're a regular NBA fan. But one of the things that I was talking to somebody about, I was like, well, honestly, that's because of ESPN probably. Because you don't know how many times I've talked to a person that, I mean, is a casual. I might be one compared to other people, but that don't know too much. And they'll be like, did you hear what ESPN say? Personally, I don't watch ESPN because they don't highlight anything besides MJ, LeBron, maybe a couple top 5 players. But
Izzy, stop.
What happened?
It's just loud.
Oh, okay, no problem. But the thing that bothers me is, or the thing that I want to bring up is, I feel like that is the reason why nobody's drawn to these teams because they never talk about the Pistons, they never talk about Thunder, they never talk about anybody pretty much that isn't a Celtic, Knick, Laker, one of those big teams. And I feel like that's the main reason why viewership is going to go down for this. Looking at this, I'm going to have the most fun watching these NBA finals, whether it's going to be Knicks versus OKC or Pacers versus OKC. But the fact that people are saying oh, the viewership is going to go down, it's not going to be a good competition. If you've seen the Pacers play, if you've seen an Aaron Nesmith, Tyrese Haliburton, Andrew Nembhard, T.J. McConnell now they're going to go up against the SGA, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, Alex Caruso. That is good basketball. That is basketball we need to watch, especially with the Knicks. It'll be fun. But the fact that people are saying this isn't going to be good because they're big names or they're not big names. It's kind of sad, but I think it's all on ESPN. I'm going to say
It's
that.
the small markets, I think. And like if Anthony Edwards was there, it'd be different because everyone would be like, oh, is he going to be the next GOAT? Mm-hmm. Why are we not having, this might be crazy, but why are we not having these conversations with Shai? A dude who is like what they say Anthony Edwards is going to be, Shai already is. Yeah. He has an MVP. He's had 3 straight seasons averaging 30-plus points. Yeah. He's an all-defensive caliber player. He just won 68 wins. And he's probably going to win the NBA Finals. Why are we not having these face of the league conversations with Shai? Because Shai Gilgeous, he has the swag too. And I feel like that's what everyone's drawn to with Ant. Why can Shai not be the face of the league? Because that man is, you could argue, the best player in the world right now. You know, and I love Jokic, right? But there's dudes like Shai. And I want to shout out Jalen Williams because I have nothing but praise for what Jalen Williams has done in these playoffs.
22, 6, and 4 with 2 steals in this series.
Fuck the numbers. This is what I love about him, and this is what I think every team needs to find guys like this. Jalen Williams is good with the ball. Yeah. He's elite without the ball. Oh, yeah. He could catch and shoot. He could create his own shot. Yep. He could play make. Plays great defense. Like, you need selfless players like that, right? Like, if you played basketball at any point, you always hear your coach talk about we need selfless players, unless you're playing in that league where they got the 3 jersey numbers. But you need selfless players. Jalen Williams is a selfless player. Yeah. I would argue Shai's a selfless player.
He is.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is unfucking guardable. He should be taking 50 shots a night. But to win the championship, you don't do that. And he'll do it when he needs to do it, but that's not every night. And I think dudes like that are nice. Like when you look at what... And I feel like I've talked about this before, but like the Jokic style, the Luka style, even the Giannis style, where sure these guys are probably more talented than Shai. I'll give them that. Yeah. But it's not selfless basketball. It's I get the ball, get out the way. And even if I'm kicking it to you, like the action isn't drawn up for you. It's drawn up for me, and I'm going to find you, you know? The Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams style is we're just going to play free flow in the offense. Wherever there's a good shot, we're going to take it. And I just love to see that. Yeah. And even the Pacers are doing a great job at that, where it's so free-flowing, where if Tyrese is hot, Tyrese has the ball. If Siakam's hot, he has the ball. If Nesmith is hot, he gets the damn ball.
Flamethrower, man.
Yeah, so it's interesting, but I just think, like, I would say Shai's the best player in the world because of that quality. I think being selfless in the NBA is a very underrated thing, and I think that's why everyone knocked the Thunder this year, because we don't have a Donovan Mitchell who had a selfless year. But, like, dudes like that where it's like, we know them. We know they're going to take 40 shots if they have to. Like, we don't need to do that, bro. Shai just had Shai's had 3 30-plus point per game seasons shooting so efficiently. You know, so I'm going to give this team so much praise, so much flowers. This defense is insane. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander matched up on Anthony Edwards in single coverage a lot last night, and he put him to bed, man. So, face of the league, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I'll say that. I think we need to start pushing him there because he's a cool, like, we're so quick to push Luka. We're so quick to push Anthony Edwards. Why are we not pushing the dude who has an MVP, which those guys don't have, that's in the NBA Finals, which those guys, or Luka has done, but we all knew Luka wasn't going to win. And then as far as, like, this Finals being boring because it's small market teams, I think it's going to be a boring Finals. But
really?
I do. I think we're going to smoke them. I'm not going to and I call it bias, call it what you want, but I don't think the Pacers are built for the Thunder. They're built. The Knicks were built to beat the Celtics. I'll give the Knicks that. Every other team, there's definitely some questions. There's definitely some questions. And you can see it in this series, bro. Like, the Knicks have a terrible defensive point guard and a terrible defensive center, which is fine against the Celtics, who are all wings. But the second you go against a team that has a Tyrese Haliburton and a Siakam who are going to cook you, you're going to get cooked.
I'm not going to lie, man. I think it's going to be a fun Finals because I think the Pacers, I think they're going to unlock a new level. I'm not going to say they're going to win.
What's the new level? Turn it on.
I just want to hop in for 1 second.
Okay.
I'm mad at you.
Why?
Because you told me either today or it was last night that you think the Knicks could still win it.
I'm rooting for the Knicks.
But now you're sitting here and you're trying to tell me we keep talking about the Pacers being in the Finals and that the Knicks weren't built to beat the Pacers. But you were telling me yesterday that you think we win. What do you have to say about that?
Because the Knicks are the better team, but the Pacers have outplayed them.
I just want you to know you're really hurting my feelings right now.
I'm sorry.
Like,
Your
it's-
feelings should be hurt, man.
Yeah, they should be.
Bro,
feelings
who are
should
you
be
talking to, bro? Where are the Lakers? Where are the Lakers? Nowhere.
Hey, it's cool, man. Right when y'all lose, y'all can join us in Cancun as well. I'm just saying.
I don't know what that
the
means,
burgers
bro.
are nice over here.
I don't even
They
know what
pretty
that
nice.
means, bro. Lakers are boring.
Okay, that's
Knicks
cool.
up.
That's cool. We boring. It's all right. We gonna see what happens next year, though. We gonna see what happens next
Not a
year.
Stephen A. Smith Gilbert Arenas debate.
LeBron's walking out like a walker. He just can't play anymore.
Yeah, he's still gonna drop 40 in the MSG.
How's Bronny doing?
He probably gonna drop more than sticking Josh Hart.
Josh Hart's gonna be gone next year. I think Josh Hart's out of there for sure.
Man, oh man.
Let's talk about this Pacers and Knicks series. But before we do that, let's hear a word from our sponsor. Boom, Fantasy.
Man, okay, LeBron hit my parlay. Let's get it.
Oh shit, he hit it?
Yeah, bro.
I
Look
won
at this.
$200. I told you, parlay.
How the heck did you win $200?
I used Boom Fantasy. I used their pick and spin, spun the wheel, got 10 times my money.
Bro, you gotta hook me up.
If you use code RTP, you could get a risk-free bet up to $100. Let's get back to the video. All right.
I was low-key gonna ask you another question about OKC, but we'll
Go
move on,
ahead.
we'll move on.
Go ahead. Let's go.
I was gonna say, no matter what do you guys need to do to improve next year? Like,
Run
what
it
is
back.
if you have one goal, if you have two goals, what is the goal that you would want for OKC next year?
I think run it back, bro. I think everyone's going to develop. You know, we're the youngest roster in the NBA. That's like, if you said, what's the goal for the Portland Trailblazers to do next season, you know, you're going to tell them to run it back and just improve, you know, like let these guys rock. The Thunder won 68 games, hurt, without Chet for most of the not most of the season, but like Chet missed, I think it was like almost 30 games. Jalen Williams missed almost 20 games.
Yeah.
What can we do? You know, like what other than blow it up, you know, like what is everyone's locked in for next year. You know, we're not losing anyone in free agency. What I'm kind of scared of going into next year, I will say, is I'm a big fan of Nikola Topic, and I think he's going to be a monster and has like superstar potential. But Cason Wallace is just a better fit.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know what you do. Like that's
Trade him.
you might trade him, but you're not gonna get the value for Nikola Topic because Nikola Topic, bro, is going to be. If y'all don't know, Nikola Topic is gonna be one of the ones. Okay, like we have a dude with top 10 player in the NBA potential who didn't play a game this season. You know, and I'm not saying next year, but I'm saying in 5 years, I would not be surprised if Topic is one of those guys.
Nikola Topic probably had the most relaxing NBA rookie year ever.
Oh, bro.
He came in, is chilling, practicing, doing this. He's on his phone, like, all right, keep doing your thing, gang. Talking to SGA and all that.
Not even practicing.
That's what I mean.
He's hurt, bro.
He in this thing in the hotel going like, dang, man, I'm actually going to get a ring. And he's over here playing like sticking Flappy Bird or something.
Bro, all that dude is doing is getting lit on the team bus. That's it. He don't
He's
gotta
like
do nothing.
Dion Waiters during the 2020 Bubble Championship.
Bro, literally, he's chilling. So I think like that's a guy that I'm curious on what the Thunder do. I don't have a suggestion because Sam Presti is a guy that I trust. Like,
Yeah.
just go ahead and rock out. But I love Cason Wallace, bro, and I don't want to lose Cason Wallace, and I love Nikola Topic, and I don't want to lose Nikola Topic. But those are two guys that I don't think can play together.
So then, with those 2 first-round picks, do you really need to pick anybody up? Like, do
Yes,
you really
bro.
need to?
Yes, bro, and this is why. This is what we just did last year, right? This is
Yeah.
what we did the year before. You draft guys. Sure, we might draft a dude with a first-round pick that should be playing on a Portland or a I was about to say Detroit, but Detroit's good. Washington.
Yeah.
Like, dudes that will get reps there. But we don't got to do that. We draft them. We let them rock on our bench, develop. And then once we start losing guys to free agency, we just call them up.
Yeah.
It's like a baseball system, bro. And I think
Okay.
that's the future of the NBA. Like, that's really how teams need to be deep, bro. We've seen every team in the playoffs has 8 guys except the Knicks.
Yeah.
And even the Knicks, the best games the Knicks look, they were playing DeLon Wright and Landry Shamet. Like, teams like no knock, the Lakers are not deep enough to go on playoff runs anymore. Teams like the Warriors,
We will be next year.
let's hope. The Warriors could be maybe. Pistons, I feel like we're like a year away, a couple players away from going on a deep playoff run. Like these teams that we expected to be, even Denver, right? Denver took us to 7 games, which is fair. But if Aaron Gordon doesn't hit 2 of like the most crazy shots of his life,
It's 5.
it's 5. So you need that depth to go on it.
Yeah.
Unless you're built to stop the Celtics like the Knicks, you need that to go on a deep playoff run. And the Thunder, I feel like, have that. I feel like Houston has that. I think Houston is just missing a go-to scorer to let Jalen Green be the number 2 because I don't think Jalen Green is a number 1 scorer anymore. It's all about depth, bro. That's how you should build a team now and then. Yeah. 100%. You ready to talk about Pacers Knicks or anything else?
All right, just to end it off.
Okay.
Since you're saying just keep rebuilding or keep building that depth, what are 1 or 2 draft picks that you or players in this 2025 NBA draft that you would want OKC to draft?
So my draft knowledge isn't as good as it should be right now.
Okay.
But I think a dude like Thomas Howell would be cool on this team. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I think we need more wings, and he could develop a little bit.
Yeah.
And he should be there pretty late.
Yeah.
I like Mark Sears. I don't think we'll be able to get him. But Mark Sears is another guy who's just like sound. Like he could go in there and play playoff minutes for you as a rookie, because he's so old, so experienced. Janai Broom maybe as another like
I
power
think you should
forward
take
wing.
Broom.
Something like that. Yeah, Walter Clayton would be cool because we need better shooters. Con Knuppel, but we won't be able to get him.
Yeah. He's
just
gonna be like top 15.
Yeah, dudes like that where it's like safe. I don't want us to take a fly on. I guess Thomas Howell might be a fly.
He's perfect.
But
he's perfect.
He needs to develop right, And we've done that with Paku and Usman Jang and dudes like that, and they just don't work out. But even our rookies, like I love AJ Mitchell, bro. I think that's a rookie we drafted that I didn't have a lot of expectations for, and he's looked really good. Dylan Jones was a guy that we were very high on.
He's going to be good next year.
Yeah, exactly. So those are guys we just draft, we hold on to. Now, if we draft another 2 guys, bro, our bench is just constantly circulating, So it's good. And we don't even, like, if we trade our guys, we're probably trading for more draft picks.
Yeah.
So I love just the direction of the Thunder. And I do think we have dynasty potential. I do think this team could win 3 to 5 championships, which is crazy to say. But
they're young enough.
They're young. The youngest team in the league, bro. Our best player is 27. He, like, realistically, bro, an NBA prime is like 28, 29, 30. Shai hasn't hit that yet. So we'll see where he is at that point. But also, like, Chet is what, 23?
Yeah.
Jalen Williams is what, 24? Like.
Oh, wait, what? Oh, no, my bad. It said 30, but it was 30 rebounds. I was like, ain't no way this dude 30.
Yeah.
Nah, he's 22.
So we got dudes like that just in the background too, Like we could be, I don't think we'd be in the finals without Shai, but we could be a great playoff team without Shai.
1,000%.
So that just kind of goes to show what this team really is.
I'm scared.
Yeah, I would be too. Let's talk about Knicks Pacers because I know Knicks fans are scared. I think I want to talk about the Pacers really quick first, and I want to give them their flowers, and I want to give Tyrese Haliburton his flowers because he had one of the best playoff games I ever seen last game.
Oh man,
34. What was it? 34, 14, and 12 or something like that.
It was like 31, 15, and 12.
Like
I think so, or 31, 12, and 15.
Whatever it was, Tyrese Haliburton had an amazing game. It was 32, 12, and 15 with 4 steals, but I want to give the most credit for a dude with the ball that much in that game to not have a single turnover.
Yeah.
So impressive. So I'm going to give him his flowers, man. I'm still not the highest on Tyrese Haliburton. I don't think he's in the superstar tier that we're rushing him into. It feels very similar to what we did with Anthony Edwards last year, the year before that. And I think Tyrese Haliburton is a dog. I think he's good at basketball, obviously, but he has games like this, and then he has games where he has 13 and 5, and then he has a game where he has 27 and 12, and that's cool. You're not supposed to be consistent. Like, you can't be averaging the same numbers every game or nothing like that, but I just don't think we should put him – a superstar player gives you superstar impact every game. Tyrese Haliburton doesn't do that. Is that fair to say?
I feel like he has one game where he doesn't do pretty well, but then the rest of the games he's going crazy.
And I will say when he doesn't do well, it's not because his shot's not falling. No, it is because his shot's not falling. It's not because he gets, like, locked up or something like that. So I think that would be my knock on Tyrese. I think the only superstars in the NBA right now are Shai, Jokic, and Giannis. And if Embiid's healthy, I would put those 4.
Yeah.
And I also...
What about Jason Tatum?
Jason Tatum, too. You're right.
Okay.
Jason... No. Jalen Brunson, though, I still would take over Tyrese as a basketball player. I think we're jumping the gun on this, guys. I will say. Jalen Brunson is a 6-foot guard who is damn near unguardable.
Yeah.
He's been the best scorer in the playoffs this season. So we got to give that man some credit. Like, Jalen, I know he can't defend a fucking shoe, but as far as offense goes, he's elite. And Tyrese Haliburton does have him on the defensive end, and he's a better playmaker. But Trae Young is better than both those guys.
Better than Jalen Brunson and Tyrese?
Yes. And I don't want to hear shit about that, bro, because Trae Young did this shit 3 years ago, 4 years ago, however long it was. Trae Young, bro, listen. This is what I'm going to say.
All right.
Is Tyrese Haliburton a better scorer than Trae Young? Don't even, Phil. Don't even fucking
I'm thinking about right now.
bro.
I'm thinking about right now.
I don't care.
I'm thinking about right now.
Well, Trae Young's at home.
Trae Young's a better three-point shooter, for sure.
And he's better at the rim. His
All right,
floater is the best move in basketball.
Well, hear me out. The only reason I'm thinking about it is this. So you're saying Trae Young is a better scorer than both of them?
I would say he's better than Brunson, too. But I'm cool if you take Brunson.
Okay, so we're just talking about Tyrese versus Trae.
Yeah.
All right. When I think of scoring, I'm thinking about, like, the overall, how you get the ball in the basket, like, not just three-point shooting and, like, floaters, which I think Tyrese can do, too. Maybe I'm saying Trae Young has a better floating game than him, for sure. But I think Tyrese can get to the basket better than Trae Young.
No.
I think he definitely can.
Hell no.
I think he definitely can.
You've seen Tyrese in one-on-one, bro. That man couldn't fucking cross up anybody. That man had him in prison.
But that's what I mean. Right now, he's been crossing people up and then taking that step back, shooting like the threes over like
That's
everybody
Trae
in this
Young.
playoffs. I'm saying Trae Young can do it, but I'm saying also like
Bro.
Tyrese can do more. Like
no way, bro.
He scores in more ways.
Lock in on Tyrese next game. Tyrese cannot fucking score in single coverage, bro. He needs the defense to break down a score. I'm telling you, Trae Young will break you the fuck down. Trae Young will break you down.
You're a New York fan. You should be hating Trae Young.
And Trae Young averaged 27 and 12 this season, bro.
Yeah.
So we're comparing a dude averaging 18 and 10 to someone with who you trust. And if you kick the ball out, if Neesmith's on one side and Dyson Daniels is on the other, who are you kicking the ball out to?
Kicking the ball out? Oh,
If you're
okay. That's
driving
what you mean. You're saying it's like easier because Neesmith actually can shoot the
Neesmith
ball.
will knock it down consistently.
Yeah.
Nemhard will knock it down consistently.
I got
You showed the 3-point numbers.
Yeah.
Jalen Johnson missed the whole year for Trae Young.
That's true.
Trae Young averaged 27 and 12 with this bogus ass squad. Onyeka was damn near unplayable for half the season. 27 and 12 where your lob threat is Clint Capella in 2025.
Yeah.
27. Think about how. Name a fucking player in history to average 27 and 12. Harden? Who else?
I was going to say Steve Nash, but he didn't do that.
He didn't do no
have the points.
27.
Yeah.
Trae Young averaged 27 and 12, right? Right? Let's put that out there. Let's put that into the universe. I think it's recency bias to say Tyrese Haliburton because we're talking about Tyrese right now.
Yeah,
and that's fair.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking about it now. But if we look at the whole season, then
If we look at it as a basketball player, Trae Young, I think gets to the basket way better. Better finisher at the floater. Sure, Tyrese could go at your body a little bit better, but better floater. Trae Young is a miles better 3-point shooter. Trae Young, to me, is a better playmaker. Tyrese doesn't turn the ball over as much and is a better defender, but Trae Young doesn't need to do that.
But I mean, if he's not turning the ball over that much, wouldn't that make him the better like playmaker or the better passer? Which one did you say? I'm sorry.
I said playmaker or passer. I'd take Trae Young for both of those.
I would say if he's not turning the ball over like as much as Trae Young, like if it's like at 1 turnover per game compared to Trae Young being at 4, I feel like Tyrese Haliburton is a better playmaker.
Trae Young, to me, though, is facing double teams more than Tyrese Haliburton.
I mean,
You double teaming Tyrese Haliburton if you're a coach? Be so for real.
I get, yeah, you're right about the whole double team thing. Like Trae Young is getting double team more than Tyrese, but I still don't feel like that should be like a aspect of being
That's
a
an
better
aspect
playmaker.
of playmaking, though, because if I'm turning the ball over because I'm getting double teamed, I'm not turning the ball over because I'm a worse playmaker than another guy. He's turning the ball over because the defense is stop Trae Young. Dyson Daniels could beat us. Jalen Johnson could beat us. The defense for the Pacers is have Tyrese fucking give me 35 points. because he's not going to do that every single night. Yeah. Because he can't do that every single night. If you tell Trae Young, beat us one-on-one, Trae Young will beat you one-on-one. We saw that this season. Trae Young did that last year in Game 4 versus Boston, where he hit that game winner and had like 45 points.
Yeah.
That is not something Tyrese Haliburton can do. Say I'm wrong.
I guess I just need to see what's going to happen next season, because the way Tyrese has been playing in these playoffs, I feel like he's transforming. But like he's becoming different.
That happened last season.
Yeah.
In the regular season, you're not putting Trae Young and Tyrese in the same conversations. One was Tyrese Haliburton was not even the all-star on his own team. Yeah. Pascal Siakam was the all-star this season, not Tyrese Haliburton. You're not putting Trae Young in Tyrese conversations in the regular season, respectfully. Yeah. And I don't think that the Hawks have the team to make the playoff run that the Pacers did. Yeah. But when they did, they made that playoff run. And they beat a 1 seed. And the Pacers sure also beat a 1 seed, but that 1 seed was beat the fuck up, right? And Trae Young did this shit at 22.
Yeah.
Tyrese Haliburton was drafted at 22 years old. That's all I'm saying. I feel like we're jumping the gun on Tyrese.
We're not. It's so hard because, like,
Phil, would you say we jumped the gun on Anthony Edwards last season? And the conversations that Anthony Edwards is getting put into. And saying people were saying he was the best shooting guard in the league, or in that conversation. I feel like you told me that.
Yeah, I did. Season. That's why I'm thinking, like.
Do you think Anthony Edwards is a top 3 shooting guard in the league right now?
Yeah.
Considering Shai, Luka, I'm taking Mitch over him.
SGA is a point guard.
SGA is like a 2, bro. We play a guard next to him though. The way SGA plays is so similar to Anthony Edwards because Mike Conley isn't running the action.
Okay, but all right.
Case and Wallace isn't running the action. They're playing the 2. They're playing next to someone.
But like as a position, SGA is a point guard. Like he's labeled a point guard.
So when we start Case and Wallace is the 2 guard. That's what you're telling me.
Wait, when you start Case and Wallace?
When we start Case and Wallace or Caruso in games.
I think they've been listed as shooting guards whenever they've played.
Okay.
Like I'm going by listings.
Shai is a 2 guard.
Like the way he plays,
that down for you. Shai is a score first guard. He's a 2 guard.
Yeah. But the way he plays, he is a shooting guard. He plays like a shooting guard, but he's labeled as a point guard.
Well, Luka's the same thing then.
Luka's a point guard. Luka is a clear as day point guard.
Okay. If that's how you're tiering it, sure then. But if you were tiering Shai, you taking Shai or Anthony Edwards?
I'm taking, like, if we're not talking about positions, I'm taking SGA.
You taking Luka or Anthony Edwards?
Luka or Anthony Edwards?
Yeah.
Oof. I am going to. Now I'm going to take Luka. Before I took Anthony Edwards.
I would put them in the same tier, but I feel like Anthony Edwards was what people called better than Shai last year. I feel like that was almost unanimous because of the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was stupid. And I felt like we jumped the gun. Mm-hmm. Tyrese Haliburton now is unanimously better than a lot of guys that I don't think he's better than. I don't think he's better than Brunson. He's probably outplayed Brunson in the series. Mm-hmm. He's not better than Brunson. He's not better than Trae Young. Mm-hmm. He's not better than Luka, if people are talking about that. I don't know if people are talking about that. But I don't even know if he's better than what Harden did in the regular season. Mm-hmm. So I just don't. I think we're jumping the gun, bro, because he is such a streaky player. And when he's hot, he's hot. Mm-hmm. He's on fire. He's one of the premier guards. Tyrese Haliburton on fire is a lot better than a lot of those guys I said. Yeah. But the average Tyrese Haliburton game is not 31, 10, and 14. Mm-hmm. It's 18 and 9.
So you know what? I guess it's really gonna count on next season to see like if this really carries on to next season. Like I know it's the playoffs and he can't really carry on that much, but if he can improve from being like an 18.9 assist dude this year to maybe a 23, 5 and 11 dude, I'd say I'd put him up there.
But I would too. But let's go back, right? Because Tyrese Haliburton had a very similar playoff run last season to what he's doing this year, right? Yeah. They went on the run. They made the finals. I
don't think he was scoring that much, though, in the playoffs. I think it was just that he was setting his teammates up really well.
I'm going to pull it up, but I'm pretty sure it was similar.
Because I know he was averaging, 21 with 11 assists, but there was, a rocky 21. Like, some days he'd have, 17. Other days he'd have 20 or 22.
That's what he is, though. That's what he's doing this year, I feel like.
But, this year, even in this series, he's averaging 24, 7, and 11 with nearly 3 steals a game. And then through the whole playoffs. Boosted.
What's through the whole playoffs?
Through the whole playoffs, let me bring that up real quick. My bad.
Through the whole playoffs, he's averaging
Where is it?
Where's points per game?
There we go. All right.
I have his total numbers, bro. Are you serious?
He is averaging. My goodness, can y'all like stop messing with my computer?
I got it.
Thank you.
This year he's averaging 19 and 10. Last year he averaged 19 and 8.
Oof.
So it's
One more assist.
that's what I'm saying. So it's very similar, you know? And we just jumping now. Tyrese is in that tier. He's a playoff riser, but it's like Jimmy Butler, where next season he's not going to be this. You know, that's how I feel.
I feel you.
And last year he was shooting a lot more too.
I just don't know. I wonder if this is like going. Well, I don't know. We'll see what the Knicks do today, but I wonder if going to the finals would change his mindset.
I don't know, bro. I just think it's not changing how I feel about him, right? It might change how the media feels about him, and that's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's jumping the gun, putting him in like he's not a top 10 player in the NBA. So we could stop that. That's not a conversation. So I don't love that, but he is a great player, and I don't want to be the one guy knocking him while he's hot. But I just think Tyrese conversations, and I went off on this. I think in the Bucks series, I want to say, where he had a game that was insane, and then everyone was like, "Why y'all overrating Tyrese? Why are we doing this?" And it's like, bro, no one overrates Tyrese anymore. Tyrese, if anything, is overrated. But to talk about the Knicks a little bit, I think there's definitely a problem with Thibodeau's rotations. And I think Tom Thibodeau needs to not be scared of benching Brunson more. Because in game 1, in game 3, and in game 4, I believe, they went on runs when Brunson was on the bench and Deuce McBride was in the game.
Yes.
And if you're up in a game, I think you should have your defensive stopper in the game rather than your scorer, right?
Yes.
So I think they need to run more Deuce minutes for sure. Maybe it was in game 4.
Why don't you even try to, like, if you're trying to do the whole bench thing with Josh Hart, I don't think you should just put Mitchell Robinson. I think you should just start Deuce. Have him play the 2.
I like Mitch starting and I like Deuce starting. I think you have to start one of those two.
Yeah.
I like Josh Hart coming off the bench. I think they got to move on from Josh Hart. I think trading DiVincenzo was a bad move. I think they could have used DiVincenzo.
Oh, they could have 1,000% used DiVincenzo in this
because
series.
he plays good defense too.
Exactly.
You know? 3 and D. That's what you needed. Josh Hart's great defender, obviously, but you have great defenders on this team. You kind of needed that change of pace.
And they're leaving him wide open.
Bro, they're sitting on him. They're guarding him like Ben Simmons. So I think that's definitely a big problem. I think that's what New York needs to address. Should they fire Thibodeau?
Yes, they do.
Wait, is he being for real? Should you? Should they?
I don't have an opinion. This is my first season watching. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I should probably have this. I think, like, the team has been super inconsistent. And I think, like, it's hard for me to tell if our team's inconsistent, is it the coach or is it the players?
Yeah.
So, like, I can't really have an opinion on whether they should fire him or not because I kind of just don't know.
All right, this is my question. Would you rather them trade a significant player like McHale, OG, Brunson, or Cat, or fire Thibodeau?
Trade Cat. But no, I guess if they were to fire Thibodeau, I think it could give us new opportunities to maybe play differently, and maybe that's what we need.
That's what a lot of teams do. So if you guys don't know, this is Izzy's first year locked in on the Knicks, right? A lot of teams, their first move when they want to change is their fire their coach so that they could, like, do exactly what you said.
Because our players are good.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're just inconsistent. But I think maybe that's why, maybe it is just the coaching. It's where he's putting them, who he's putting in the game.
Yeah.
Because you said it earlier, too. Like, it's just kind of like, we should bench Josh Hart. It's better maybe if we bench him. Because he can come off the bench and play fine, but we need other players. Yeah.
I just think they should have been playing their bench players early in the season, like, way more.
Yeah, I mean, DeLon Wright and Landry Shamet are, I'm not going to act like they're, like, all-star role players or nothing like that, but they're proven guys.
They have experience.
Exactly. DeLon Wright especially. DeLon Wright last year in the playoffs was very good for Miami.
Exactly.
So I don't know why DeLon Wright isn't seeing a lot of minutes. I think they need like a wing that could give you more than just like McHale and OG are going to give you between 15 to 20 points a game.
Yeah.
They kind of need that spark type of wing to kind of just go in there and go off, because then you'd feel more comfortable benching Cat or benching Brunson for the defense. KD in New York would be sick.
Who would you trade for KD, though?
Put McHale back in. No,
You know what? Actually,
I wouldn't hate that.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't hate that either. Because then you have what, like,
It would be Brunson.
no, but then you would have to trade more with Bridges.
You probably would, but let's say the heart of it would be Brunson, Hart, KD,
Yeah.
OG,
Yeah.
Cat.
That
That's
is
a five.
a lot of money. Oh my gosh.
That's a starting five that will either win a championship or win 35 games.
Oh my goodness. You know what, KD, you might just have to stick it out, bruh, or go to Minnesota.
What about Cam Thomas there?
Cam Thomas off the. I don't even think like. Oof, because he doesn't make that much money too, and you could easily give him a 25 or something, or a 20 if he really wants money. But like, I feel like they do have something here. It's just that, like, because Miles McBride is good, Mitchell Robinson is good, but he's hurt most of the time. Campaign is whatever right now. He's on his way out.
I really feel like DeLon Wright should be getting way more minutes.
That too. DeLon Wright and Landry Shamet are good.
But I'm saying more than Campaign because DeLon Wright, I think, just is safer.
Yeah.
You know who they should go after? Nikhil.
Yep.
I think Nikhil would be a great addition here. And there was
Marcus Smart too.
Windhorst said that they can't. They're not going to keep all of the Timberwolves guys. I don't know if I believe that because that was kind of their goal with trading Cat.
Yeah.
But if they do lose Nikhil, I think Nikhil is going to contribute somewhere big because Nikhil is that guy when it comes to being a role player. What time are we at?
41.
Do you think Naz Reid deserves a $100 million contract?
Yes. I think his ceiling is very high. You know, maybe his floor is weak. But what is it? 4-year, 100 mil?
I think it might be a 4-year, 100 mil, or a 5-year, but it's probably going to be a 4-year.
This is what I'll say, and this is similar to kind of the Austin Reeves situation.
Yeah.
I think, like, Austin Reeves deserves 30 mil.
Yeah.
I don't think the Lakers should pay him 30 mil because I don't think he's the right fit there. I think Naz Reid deserves 100 mil in the sense of if I'm a rebuilding team, if I'm, let's say, Washington, I would pay Naz Reid 100 mil to play next to Alex Sarr. I mean, think about how perfect that would be, right?
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
But should Minnesota pay him 100 mil? That's a different conversation because you have other guys you need to pay, you know? So I think that would be where, if I was Atlanta, bro, I would pay Naz Reid 100 mil to put Naz Reid next to fucking Trae Young. That would be disgusting. If I was the Lakers, I would pay Naz Reid 100 mil to get a 5 there.
I mean, he's going to be the best center we've had since...
Shaq?
I don't even know.
Since Bynum?
Nah, since Mark Gasol.
Hell
I'm trying to remember the last time.
Naz Reid clears Gasol. Maybe Dwight?
Well, because I'm saying, like, who is the best that worked well as an actual center?
Oh, you're saying fit. Okay.
Yeah, like, fit. I'm not saying, like, you know, like, talent. Like, well, technically, yes. I'm just, like, Mark Gasol was the last center we had that was really good. And then...
Jackson Hayes for half the season?
He's way better than freaking Jackson Hayes. Wenyen Gabriel.
Goat.
That's how bad our centers have been.
It's a bad rotation, bro. But yeah, I think something like that would be good. I think like if there's a fit, you pay him. But if you're just paying him to retain him, you got to consider like maybe paying him a little bit less than market value and hoping he stays. But yeah, bro, I would be pissed if I was one of those Timberwolves fans with the Naz Reid tattoo and they decided not to pay him. That would suck.
I think they're going to pay him, but I think that Nicolau Alexander-Walker, he deserves the money now after the way he's been playing, but I don't think they're going to pay him. I think they might let him walk.
What is he worth?
I'm going to say for sure 15 mil or like a
I think that's
20
fair.
mil. I could see him being in the 15 to 20 mil range.
I could see him getting 20 mil from a shitty team.
Exactly.
But I would pay him like 15, like 12 to 15.
I want the Lakers to go after him, low-key.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good point guard. And also the way he was kind of guarding. Well, no, he was guarding SGA. Like, he was low-key bothering him sometimes.
Hell no, Shai was busting his ass.
Shai was busting
You just
everybody's
listen
ass.
to Doris Burke too much. Doris Burke
is the weirdest announcer, bro.
She was glazing.
I can't stand Doris Burke.
Izzy's a pro Doris
I can't
Burke.
stand Doris
No,
Burke.
Doris Burke did a very bad job in the series. In the Thunder
She
series,
does a
bro.
bad job in a lot of series, bro.
She's a goat for
It's
sure.
about time, you know, it's gonna happen at some point.
She's-
Can't be perfect all the time.
Yeah, Mike Breen too. Kind of fall. Dude,
You don't like Mike Breen?
They were glazing the Wolves for like no reason. It really feels like they have the Anthony Edwards narrative to push because it was insane. Or every time Nikhil touched the ball or Shai was getting guarded, it's like they're cousins, by the way. It's like how many fucking times we got to know that they're fucking cousins?
Hey,
Right?
it sells tickets.
Nobody's going to a game because there's Cousins playing. You would go to a game. The only game I would go because Cousins are playing is a fucking 2018 Kings game. I'll see Boogie, but I don't see fucking.
If stinking Jonte Porter didn't get stinking Gamble Frenzy, like I would have gone to see the brothers play each other.
Brothers is different than Cousins.
Michael Porter Jr. versus Jonte Porter.
Hell no. One's getting 12 minutes, the other's getting 30.
Yeah, because he's trying to give himself 20 minutes for a reason. That man would have had 20 mil easily.
Yeah,
20
that
mil
dude
easy.
Folded. That dude folded. Is he in jail now?
I don't know. He might be.
Oh, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, my bad. We went a little off task. That's my fault.
You're good.
It's my fault.
Yeah,
Bro.
Yeah, once we started hitting on Dorsberg.
Should be glazing too much of the Warriors, bro.
Thank you guys for listening to another episode of You Know Ball. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow. Most importantly, Phil, let them know what else they need to do.
Yes, sir. Make sure to add Run the Play Network on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. Make sure to hit that bell as well. I'm Phil. This Ant-Man shit at the MCU. We out, and let's bounce.
Bounce, baby, boom.
This man had the most annoyed look